declaration which authorizes the village to pursue the means necessary to direct that work be completed so that we can replace that sole source for the village system. Joanne, do you want me to read that resolution in full?
No, I'm just going to read the last part of it because you went over it before too.
Yep.
The foregoing resolution was offered by board member.
Who would make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. In a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, and then there's a roll call vote. Nancy, Mayor Hyde,
Yes.
Robert McDowell,
Yes.
Ron Hooper,
Yes.
Robert Riddell.
Yes.
Great. So yeah, I will. I'll be in contact. I'll talk with the contractor. We'll get that official number, and then we can direct from there once we're comfortable with that amount. So action number 3 is the 3 and 4 really go together. It's the change order and pay app for contract 1 on the water project. So as we discussed, there was additional drilling needed to accommodate the installation of the intake at the intake site. That additional drilling reduced the quantities of the other 2 installation methods, but the combination resulted in a net increase of $100,000. So in order for us to process that payment application to the contractor, we've prepared a change order tonight which authorizes the transfer of those quantities between the 3 installation methods, and then authorizing that pay app so we can get the disbursement started so we can get them paid.
Any questions from the board? If not, could I have a motion to accept this?
I'll make a motion.
In a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you.
And then much like the previous 2, the final items here, 5 and 6, go together. And so those are the 2 items for the hand weaving museum. So we worked with our contractor in an effort to provide water to the hand weaving museum as quickly as possible, as was initially committed by the village. Provide them water at this point by the end of the year. We would be installing a temporary water line to accommodate that until the final install can be completed when we make our water main replacement on John Street in the spring. So in order to facilitate that temporary work, the attorney finds it prudent to enter into a temporary public water easement for the village's contractor to do the work, and a hold harmless agreement which would have the art center hold the village harmless should anything occur with the work that the village has completed in the future.
Any questions for David? Could we have a motion for 5 and 6? We can do them together, couldn't we?
I'll make that motion.
In a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, David.
Thank you. If there's any questions that come up, I know we talked about a lot. If you think of anything, please reach out.
Sure will.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Jeff Mosier.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Jeff.
Pleasure, honor being here again. So just to go over October's events, we did have a authority representative visit the wastewater treatment plant and the water treatment plant to perform their annual health and safety inspection. This inspection addressed all corrective actions at this point. We didn't have any major issues of concern found upon this inspection. At this time, we also delivered the health and safety manual to our authority representative, so for review and update. That has been complete. If you guys would like to see a copy of the health and safety manual, it is provided at the clerk's office. The file was much too large to include on this report. We also we're working on receiving a quote. We had a generator mishap at the LS2 pump station. This is along the forest main between the prison and the village. One of the generators had sprung a leak in its primary fuel tank. The secondary fuel tank was able to capture all this. However, the tank is deemed unusable at this point. We sought cost for repairs from Kinsley Power Solutions. Our cost for repairs of that tank and the faulty control board, which was previously mentioned, is now totaling over $25,000. I had asked Kinsley to start beginning work on quotes for complete replacement at this point. Next month, I will hopefully have those figures for us, and we can make a better educated decision on what we want to do with it. In the meantime, we do have a portable tank set up outside that'll serve us for the winter months. It is a double-walled tank. It meets Kinsley and DEC's compliance, so we are able to use that tank temporarily. So that is our condition of the wastewater treatment plant at this point. Our water treatment plant has just completed boring the raw water intake line. We currently have the line in the water. It's awaiting the screen and also the final connection into the wet well at the low lift pump house. That will be occurring in spring. So we also learned that during this time, during the switchover, we're going to have to provide a bypass so we could continue to make water for the couple days that they will have that work underway. So we are currently in the plans of developing a protocol for running our own Godwin submersible pump we have on site. It has the ability to deliver up to 600 gallons a minute of water. We will be able to utilize that following some proper disinfection protocols in an effort to save money on this project. I've already agreed with the contractor and with the engineers that our staff would provide the bypass operating hours during our normal shift. So we will be topping off the standpipe in the village during our 8-hour shift and letting it run off the static standpipe water for the remainder of the night until the following day. So that's our plan during that bypass. And also we are hopefully expecting Manfred Construction to begin construction here the week following Thanksgiving.
Any questions for Jeff? Thank you. Congratulations on your hockey wins.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a long weekend.
Yeah, I bet it was. Well, you have a long weekend coming up.
Oh, you bet. Yeah,
Yes.
more hockey though.
Oh,
For the minutes, should I put in there for this Manfred construction that they're gonna do, you're using your emergency fund, or what is it, reserve funds?
Oh, for the French Creek Bridge
Yeah.
replacement?
Yeah.
I believe, yes.
Okay.
It's to be discussed,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
thank you for your time and have a
My
lovely
pleasure.
holiday.
Thank you, you
Thank
as
you.
well.
Any questions on the police report? Dave?
Pretty routine month for permits and et cetera for zoning and building. Did have a shed extension submitted that got denied for setbacks. Got a fence zoning permit approved. Got a porch addition, which is actually more of a porch extension, part of my nomenclature there. You'll see that come up as I go through this. Series of building permits that came through. Some of these were carries on from last month. I just wanted to close them out because I didn't have them identified. Wilcox with the cottage on State Street. Strauss with the porch, shed, roof reconfiguration on Webb. Those were both identified last month, but not in detail. Had a series of electrical connections that we got permits for, some solar units. I believe that was at an insurance outfit over here. New services. I came back down to the deck extension. That is actually at the old pier house that Mark Morgia is acquiring. So we did do the zoning evaluation and we did issue a permit for building. That's in progress. Inspections, so we've got French Creek is up and running as far as some of these foundations for these tiny homes. And he's done some rehabilitation of some prior lots for his existing RV campsite that they're putting in permanent foundations. So we've issued some permits on that and done some inspections. We're still in the process of trying to figure out our permitting process. He's going to have 50 to 100 different units at some point if we go through this whole process. So we're trying to sort how we want to kind of manage that, and that's an ongoing effort. We're going to meet with him probably either this week or next week, kind of get an idea of when these are going to kind of roll through here. No certificates issued. Planning board, zoning board, reviews that we had this last month. We had a site plan review for Morrisha Townhomes at 194. That was approved with conditions. A lot of it was related to some landscaping, some diversion ditching for runoff, typical lighting concerns, parking concerns. So that has been approved. Was approved by the planning board. Notice of determination was issued. We're waiting for resubmittal of the drawings for the updated landscaping. Building permits will come after that. We did have an information presentation at the same time at the planning board to discuss the TIN and what's going to be happening there. I think it was well received. We had the drawings in draft format, but at least got some ideas of what they're doing, where they're going. As we have done in the past, we're going to make this a full information session, get out to the public. We're going to go meet with the Clayton Local Development Corp. As we did before, essential housing as applicable. We're going to have information with the Village Board of Trustees, Town Board, and then we'll go to the Planning Board once we get all of that information. So we'll have the reviews, the site plan application, the checklists, environmental assessment, detailed construction drawings, and construction schedule. Zoning Board of Appeals, we had the variance for the shed. It's actually an existing shed that he's adding a back onto it. So it's a 2-foot and a 5-foot side setback. That was approved. I think it's a 10 by 14 extension. We did have a revisit on Pep's subdivision parcel that he wanted to divide an existing parcel into two, one being converted to a rental unit, the other being converted into an area that he could potentially build a garage. That got denied. The concern was he was taking a legal lot, dividing it into two, and creating a non-conforming lot, which then he wanted to develop on. And the planning board, zoning board's never passed anything like that, so that got denied. We did have a quasi-joint meeting with ZBA, planning board, and the mayor about parking. Okay, it's coming up. We got the snow removal issues. We've got derelict vehicles. We've got new, such as for example, TIN. They come in. They're going to have residential and commercial. They're going to need parking spaces. What do we do about that? It's an ongoing issue with all other commercial industries, along the roadway there, where we got commercial downstairs, residential upstairs. Do we have designated spots for everybody and designated spots for employees? So we're trying to figure out that. We may look at changing some code to be more up to date and practical how we deal with that. Again, that's an ongoing issue. No public inquiries. I did get a complaint about a rooster on Theresa Street. So that's a second complaint, so we're looking into that. And that's most of mine. So, any questions?
I thought there weren't supposed to be roosters in the
They're
village.
not. So.
Take
So-
Chucky out and
So no roosters in the
in
village.
the village, you can have chickens,
You can have chickens.
but roosters, bye-bye.
So we discussed the parking, and we had some back and forth about it. Did we finalize that? And
No.
No.
We should then.
Which one? The goat?
The parking that we wanted to, for snow removal.
I need to speak with Terry because you wanted some more definitive information within the code or the change, and he's been on vacation, he's not back yet. So I wanted to find out from him. I did speak with the lawyer about that. He didn't see any problem with it. As far as the unregistered vehicles, his response to that was just keep sending information. As far as you can cite them, in order to get all your money, you're gonna have to take them to the Supreme Court. But he said just keep putting the pressure on them. But I had some questions for Terry in reference to the snow removal.
I think we needed to discuss what Bob brought up as far as a increase from one
Yes,
infraction.
yes.
And that should be
Yeah.
Yes,
finalized too,
yes.
so we can get. the
And I
fee.
wanted to talk with Terry about, this should be village-wide. Is this village-wide, or will it be just Riverside? It should be village-wide, and then tickets would start having to be issued soon, I would say. I think people need to get into that habit that just because it's 42 degrees tonight, so there's no snow coming, I can still park. I think that's a little bit of a bad habit. But he's been gone for his vacation, so once he gets back, we'll get that finalized, and I should be able to have that on the next agenda to move it forward.
Okay, thank you.
I did reach out to the lawyer reference to our meeting last Tuesday, and I haven't heard back from him. But we'll get that moving also.
All right. Anything else?
Any questions, comments on the consent agenda? If not, could I have a motion for numbers 1, 2, and 3?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then capital projects. Could I have a motion for that, please?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We need a motion to acknowledge that we received the October financials for 2025.
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then also, motion, so the lease hasn't come in yet. The sweeper is, I believe, in Watertown, and the lease hasn't been sent to Amanda, but once it's sent to her, she would like for us to give her permission to sign that lease rather than drag it on, otherwise we can't move forward with the sweeper.
I'll make that motion to
And-
sign the release.
Yes.
I'll second
Sign
it.
the release.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. Let's see. Michael finished all of his classes for codes. He took his last test today, which I assume he passed. He's done so far. So he's done a great job for us to get certified in this whole process. Let's see, we have a organizational meeting on Monday, December the 1st at 5 o'clock. We have the tree lighting on Thursday at 6 o'clock, which is December the 4th, and the parade is on Saturday, December the 6th at 6 o'clock.
When is the tree lighting?
Thursday, December the 4th at 6. Community band is tomorrow night. Arrhythmias is December the 1st at the Painter Center.
Yeah.
So we're following right along here.
Are we singing at the tree lady?
Pardon me?
Are we singing at the tree lady?
Well, I'm hoping, or we'll let you sing, but we do have dancers.
Whoa.
Woo.
I think they moved the arrhythmias up to 6 o'clock,
To 6? Okay.
which means I gotta be there
Okay.
5:30.
Okay. We can get you pretty close out there. Not a problem.
So I'll be in uniform.
Alrighty. And that's all I have to say.
I got chamber notes for you. We
Yes.
had a chamber meeting this week. Most of the meeting was spent going through their budget, so that wasn't all that interesting to us. But they did note, I did learn that the North Country Goes Green Irish Festival will return to Clayton on March 14th, and they want to have a parade, and they're going to be contacting the village about closing off the street to have a parade. And I told them we'd be happy to talk to them about it, and we'll have the snow plows ready.
Well, I told them I was asking them to bring the same weather they had from last year.
So, anyway, the organizers will be contacting the village, but they were thrilled with what went on here last year, and that's why they want to come back.
What's it called?
It's called North Country Goes Green Irish Festival. That's the full name. Tim Doney gave a bird's eye view, I guess, to the entire Clayton Chamber Board about the housing, affordable housing they're talking to the CLDC about and a bunch of other people, which is essentially the back nine of the Clayton Country Club up here, and acquiring that property and putting up a bunch of homes and that sort of thing. So it was very interesting to hear it. I know it's not that far along, I guess, we're according to Tim. So it's going to be a great thing for us. And one last thing, and that they have started the work for the new docks along the Harbor Hotel. So, and there'll be a much wider fairway to get down to between the current docks and the new ones we're putting in to accommodate larger boats. So anyway, that's all I got.
Thank you. Trustee Riddock, do you have anything for us?
Yes, there was a library board meeting on the 19th. A lot going on for their holiday. The highlight is they're having a holiday party open house, and it's Wednesday, December 10th from 12 to 3. The first hour is for staff and board members to meet, and then the next 2 hours, so that would be 1 to 3, will be held as community open house, and they have refreshments this year. That's about it.
They're having, I heard that there's a new president.
Oh, yes, there is
Yes.
a new president.
And there's some people,
Drew is current vice president, he's stepping up to be president. Joan is stepping down for personal reasons.
and we'll get all that in an email, or we should.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've been getting them, haven't we? I think we have. Maybe they were going to Amanda. We do, but we should be getting information from them, yes. Okay. Yes.
I have no report this month.
Also, I've been working briefly with we just started last week with the Council of Churches in reference to the food pantry, and to have that more accessible for individuals. And we're meeting again tomorrow to get that more accessible for the community. So I'm excited about that. Alrighty. Ann, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I did, yes, please, Mayor, may I?
Okay, 3 minutes.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
For the record, I'm Major Stevenson. I've sent the mayor and the trustees a letter which I'd like to have put on the record. It's relative to what was being discussed this evening about the Thousand Islands Arts Centre and a couple of other things related to that also. Basically, the documents that were included for this evening's meeting, there's just 2 points I wanted to make on that. The phrases in the Villages Hold to Harmless letter to the TIAC, paragraph 1, line 7 onwards, the sentence starting the provision of, to 2 sentences down, completed. The phrases to accommodate and to mitigate stand out. TIAC is a private, not-for-profit entity. How much is the village charging the TIAC for this temporary work by the village's DPW to accommodate and to mitigate water provision, which I believe ultimately is necessary to provide sufficient water pressure for the TIAC's benefit in order to run its sprinkler system? Why are the costs that are going to be incurred by Barton and Dice and the village's DPW for that work seemingly being incurred by the Clayton village taxpayers and not by the TIAC, private entity that is benefiting from the work? How much is it going to cost to make these temporary arrangements? That's my first point. My second point is paragraph 1, second to last line, quotes, once the John Street construction is completed. What John Street construction? There is no John Street construction. That has been approved by the planning board. Point 3, referring to the temporary water easement document, the grantor is the TIAC and the grantee is the village of Clayton. Page 2, line 2, the grantor's property is not at 314 James Street. The TIAC address is 314 John Street and the construction site is at 321 James Street. Page 2, paragraph 2, quote, shall have the right at any time to cut roots or remove vegetation on or adjacent to said above described premises, which in the reasonable opinion of the grantee may be likely to interfere with, etc. What gives the grantor, TIAC, the right to grant to the grantee, the village, the right to disturb vegetation on adjacent property? The only people who can give that permission are the adjacent property owners who, I presume, have not been consulted about the agreement and who have not been included in parties and signatories to it. The grantor, TIAC, has no right to annex or give this right to the grantee, being the village. Those are my points on the documents that you have before you this evening for that discussion. Further on in my letter, also about the TIAC, I'm informing the village of a variety of things pertaining to the fact that, looking backwards and looking forwards, with hindsight, at the time, both the ZBA and the planning board were told that that building would block out the neighbour's light, which precisely is what it has done, from what you can see from the photo taken by the Watertown Daily Times. Secondly, now it appears that the TIAC bought Mr. Roland Thomas's house, which is the northern neighbour. They bought Mr. Thomas's house, and you'll see in my letter about that. I'm not going to go into the detail of it. But it now appears they're planning on demolishing that house in order to put in a sculpture garden. Well, I've just heard you talk about the issues of parking in the village. It strikes me that at the point at which they were given planning permission to build the TIAC, they were not supplying with the building sufficient parking spaces as they should have done for the scale of the building per the district zoning code. And so it seems to me that now they are planning on demolishing the next door property. It would be better to have them put parking spaces in that they should have put in the first place when they planned the building. Because when they planned the building, they only owned 321 James Street. And they were like, oh, we've got no space to put parking spaces in, and why do we have to, and da-de-da, which the code requires. Well, now they bought 313 next door parcel, and they are planning to demolish a charming characterful village house of historic interest, have them put in parking spaces on that space instead of a sculpture garden. Thank you, Mayor, for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Please see my letter, everybody. I have sent it to each trustee individually.
Thank you.
Are you talking, you sent an email to us?
Yes, I have.
Yes, she
And that
just,
was,
Yeah, just check.
recently.
Just recently, yes, just recently, Ron. Yeah,
because I, apparently
just check.
I'll forward it to you.
was it sent to our trustees?
Yeah, just recently.
Just confirm that you've got
It
it.
was
I
sent
did actually
during the
send two.
meeting.
I sent one which
Because
was
she forgot
just
to
the
put it.
photo of, that was in the Watertown Daily Times, and then the other one which has a letter attached, which is about 6 pages. Just check that you have got it.
Oh, yeah, and if you send something, you're using a iCloud account for me. Could you change that, please?
Yeah, I
'Cause
can do.
don't-
I can do, Ron. I'll check with you afterwards what email I should have.
Yeah, it's just the one that's for the village trustee.
Okay.
Because I don't check my other account before meetings and stuff.
Did the other trustees and mayor get it?
Thank you.
Trustee
got it.
Dowell, trustee Ritter?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yippee. All righty, thank you. Have a wonderful holiday, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
What's happening, Pamela? I wonder.
Trustee Ritter, could you
I
forward
get
that Ron?
Trustee McDowell.
Washington, I
Yep, he's all set.
I don't know if
Thank you.
there's any updates, but I wonder if I should do something with the story in the